color, gaiety, with brains, with so much creativity which comes through your entrepreneurship. I want to thank Shubhraa most of all for the way she stayed connected with me to finally plan this date. And luckily, 2-3 things got combined in my day today. The yesterday was the ISB, today is you, and tonight is the National Police Academy, the cops. So all 3 different constituencies, and today the really entrepreneurs is truly looking forward to this. I remember Manjula Reddy inviting me about 1.5 decades ago, and we stayed connected. She came and visited me in Puducherry. And this is how I think relationships are built. And we women are good at this kind of networking. And I think that's what will happen out of this session as well. I'm happy to share with you a presentation. I think you will like it, in the sense, why would you not like it? The point here is that it will give you ideas of leadership in action, because that's what you all are. But we will also go beyond that presentation when Shubhraa and I get to converse and do the Q&A. Is that okay? Now, what is this presentation? Oh, it's already the first slide. This presentation is about truly the leadership in action, as nobody other than Indra and Louis said. It's about my 5 years as Lieutenant Governor in Puducherry. And I'm going to tell you, I think there was truly a woman's hand and heart in it. How different it became without I knowing consciously that it's happening because it's a woman. But these are very big strengths, and I'm going to share with you what are the strengths which got expressed as a woman Lieutenant Governor in Puducherry, which made all the difference. I have this slide for you for one reason. This is not as Lieutenant Governor Puducherry. This is the 26th January 1975, when for the first time a woman led a Republic Day parade ahead of the men. Now, why I've got this picture, because there's a continuity of leadership in action. You see, you're all mothers. You're also mothers. How we groom ourselves and how we groom our children is about leadership. So I'm now addressing you as a parent to a parent. Had I not done this as a 22-year-old, I wouldn't have been here today and all that has happened. So remember the way we groom our own selves and the way we continue to groom, and we also groom our next generation. So I wanted to share with you, you will see, because I also asked myself, the many things which I did as Lieutenant Governor, when were they, how can I trace the roots of it? And the roots were even beyond this, which I'll speak to you when the Q&A comes. But you see, this is a proven one, because prior to that was a national champion at the age of 16 and an Asian tennis champion at the age of 21. So there was sports behind this. But this was the visible one which actually made international exposure of an Indian woman leading a male parade for the first time, and that too on the International Day of the Women, which the United Nations has declared. So why I'm giving you the first message, sharing you the first message, is check your roots. Do your SWOT. What are your strengths and opportunities and weaknesses and threats in action and leadership? Check it. Do your SWOT and do work continuously also with your next generation who will inherit and benefit out of your work. The country is anyway benefiting by your work. Because it said if women leadership comes up in economics, as it could, do you know Indian economy will be higher than anywhere in the world? Because we are a demographic dividend of women. Youth and women. And if we all women somehow get into economic activity of this kind of productivity, India will be the richest country in the world. Our economy will go 4 times over. That's what research is showing. Therefore, it's excellent. It's very, very vital that every woman in this country comes into entrepreneurship. She becomes self-employed. She generates her own wealth and she contributes to the wealth of the nation. This is another route which I came across. This is what got me the gallantry medal. So who I am today, we can trace back to the teenage days. You are what you were as a teenager. Or you altered yourself and changed maybe. Or you got changed, I do not know. Because everybody's life is different. Everybody's life is unique. We are beautiful looking human beings, but our growths are different because our parents are different. Our geographical areas are different. Our schoolings are different. Our environment experiences are different. But there are certain things which are common. And that is, we all have to lead our own lives in an empowered way. So this is another one which brought me the Gallantry Award. So I'm giving you just a glimpse of the roots, that no investment made as teenagers in schools or in colleges or at training institutions or you as parents go waste. Every idea, every habit, every empowerment, every quality learned reaps its own dividends. It's like we will reap as we sow. And we're all reaping as we sowed. And we keep sowing and we keep reaping. So it's never late. You need the right season sometimes, the right opportunity. So we are all actually farmers in life. I want to share with you my few beliefs as I've grown and I've understood. These are my beliefs. Life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% how you respond to it. This is both in person and at work. How you respond. Do you respond or do you react? Do you jump or do you reflect and take your time and take a breather? It's how you, whether it again at work, in our personal lives. Or second, today's is life. The only life you are sure of. Therefore, make the most of it today. If you get into this habit, then every day is the best day. Every day is a work day. Every day is a colorful and joyful day. So every day is a day to be relived, to be in a better, with a sense of gaiety. Third, we make a living by what we get. We make a living. You and I are making a living by what we get. But we make a life by what we give. And what I loved seeing you is, you are making lives in what you're giving. So while you're making a living, you made your own living, but you're also making lives. That's what it is about. So we make a living, and who said it? Winston Churchill said it. Fourth, anyone who stops learning is old. Whether at 20 or 80. Anyone who keeps learning stays young. And that's what you'll all be. And that's what I've been. This is what I believe. I have to learn every time I come to speak at an engagement or have an issue. I have to do my homework. I have to recharge my mental batteries. I have to refresh my own thoughts. That is what keeps you young. Fifth is, if you don't design your own life plan, then chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. This is what women need to understand from the beginning. Both your sons and daughters, and you as young women, whose younger FLO is also here. So you are all crafting your own lives. When I was growing up in the 1960s, in 49, 50s and 50s, 60s belonged to the boys. Your grandparents, your parents will tell you that it all belonged to the boys and the men. It's later on when we start to make our inroads that girls start to forge their way ahead. But the point is, that's the time when I crafted my own life. I decided to be a master of my own destiny and not go the routine way. And I remember that as a 16-year-old, when I was traveling in the trains and I'd become a national champion and become a little visible and known, my first autograph, a record of which I have in one of my books, is, be extraordinary in your life. Be extraordinary in your life. Now, what is extraordinary? It's it's ordinary, but that extra. And that's what you all becoming, extraordinary in your respective lives, in your own way. Small or big, no comparison. No comparisons. But if you're making that extra effort, you are becoming extraordinary. My daddy's one message for me was, Kiran, where's the extra mile? When I was playing competitive tennis and as a teenager, I was to say, my father was a very good tennis player himself, and a hotelier, and had enough of his family inherited wealth. But he was a lover of tennis. So half the day he would only spend time on tennis. So he and I used to travel a lot playing competitive tennis around. And he would say, Acha Kiran, aaj shaam ke liye na 6 rounds lagane. So tennis khel ke we had to do our rounds. And after the rounds, I said, Daddy, ho gaya. He says, where my extra mile? where is that extra mile? Because it's for the trophy. So then I'd say, oh, it's daddy. So I would do an extra mile, which meant the extra breadth, which meant the trophy. So I ran for the trophy, which means I did that extra work for that extra title, which I would walk with. So his theory was, where's your extra mile? Bhag to so sare hain. Tumhara extra mile kahan hai? So that is how, for me, every day is a bit of an extra mile, friends. Like you. Look, last 3 days, it's back to back for me. Fantastic speaking engagements. All constituencies are different. And all that I have to share there, here, it just goes here on and here to say, what can I do for you, which you could take home with you, and so you could get inspired to be the extra miles. So these are I thought I would share with you, which will be relevant. Now let's go to my assignment as Lieutenant Governor. This is the first page of the book, when you get to see it, is the call and the calling. When the Prime Minister invited me and sent me a message saying, come and see me at the PM office. And I was wondering, ये मुझे कोई ना कोई कमेटी के मेंबर बना देंगे, कमेटी रिपोर्ट दे देंगे, कमेटी की रिपोर्ट कौन पढ़ता है? वैसे मैं तो फंस जाऊंगी, क्योंकि I was enjoying a lot of sense of freedom within my own time. So I thought, अब मैं ना कैसे करूंगी? So I started to think, अगर कमेटी के लिए बोलेंगे तो मैं ना कैसे करूंगी? And he tells me, पौंडीचेरी के एलजी बन के जाओगे किरण जी. I was quite surprised. पहली बार ही मुझे कोई पूछ रहा है ऐसे काम के लिए. मुझे तो ठोक दिया जाता था, आईजी प्रेजेंट बना दो, फलाना आईजी बना दो, फलाना एसपी बना. कोई पूछता भी नहीं था कि कहाँ तुमको भेजना है. फर्स्ट टाइम द प्राइम मिनिस्टर इज आस्किंग मी, वुड यू लाइक टू बी द लेफ्टिनेंट गवर्नर पुडुचेरी? I thought that was an amazing blessing. Something's come for the right reason. So that's why it's called the call. But how is the calling word? The calling is explained in those 2 pages I've written. The calling is that I was called. I was called. It was a calling. I'll tell you how. 10 years ago, I went to Puducherry as a tourist with one of my IAS batchmate who was then secretary to the LG, Chandra Griali. And she says, Kiran, तुमने Puducherry देखी है? मैंने कहा नहीं देखी, मुझे बड़ा अच्छी लगती है, मुझे दिखा दे. मगर जल्दी आ जाएंगे शाम तक? बोले हाँ, मैं तुझे अपनी गाड़ी में ले जाऊंगी ना. And it was a beautiful road. Thanks to Jayalalitha, the road was brilliant. And we could drive so smoothly. And all along the road, it was cat's eyes. It was beautiful road. It's not so well maintained now, but it was very good at that time. And I went to the Aurobindo ashram. And as I bowed my head before the Sri Aurobindo and the mother, when I bowed my head, there was an inner message. There was a voice within. Go see Raj Nivas. I'm getting goosepimples telling you the story. And so go see Raj Nivas. So I have never combined this kind of a government with tourism. I asked Chandra, I said, Chandra, where is Raj Nivas? He says, 1 road away here. You want to go, Kiran? Yes, I said, I want to go. I want to see Raj Nivas. So she took me to Raj Nivas. And I went to Raj Nivas 10 years ago, that time, 10 years before I did. And I went around it. I thought, LG होगा, मिल लेंगे, दोस्त होगा, हेलो बोल देंगे. तो वो नहीं थे ऑफिस में. मेरा कोई एडिशनल सेक्रेटरी था, वो था, उसने मुझे चाय पिलाई, सिक्योरिटी ने मुझे ना नहीं की. I went around the lawns and lovely palm trees and lovely mango trees. I loved the place. I actually fell in love with the place. And when I walked out, I do not know what I left behind. But that was the calling. The calling came mysteriously. So, I don't know, this is his mystery. So those of you who lead spiritual lives may believe that something happens within. There's something called predestined and something which is steering you. So this is why it's called the call and the calling. Now comes the oath taking. Hear this. Can we have the sound? This applies to all of us at workplace. The T mantra. You're all working women. If you are trusted and you empower and you remain accountable, you're the best. You're trusted by your employees, you're trusted by your clients and customers, and you empower them in every way you can. You are empowering if they are also a win-win situation. And then you remain accountable and they also remain accountable. I think it's a wonderful, this is a mantra I gave. I thought I'd share this with you. It applies to all workplace, all entrepreneurship, all public service. Now comes the second habit, which is very vital for all of us to make great entrepreneurs or great leaders or great empowered human beings. How do you empower yourself? By a morning nutrition. Here, energy generation every morning. Get into morning routes. I want you to have a sports day, Shubhraa. Yeah, all of you in your track suits and play. कोई बैडमिंटन खेल रहा है, कोई वॉलीबॉल खेल रहा है. खेला कभी आपने? मिलके खेला है? Look, that's what we ignore. If you play games, I think you'll bond even more. You'll say, तुमने वॉलीबॉल में मुझे बॉल खिला दिया था, तूने खेला. तुमने ये बैडमिंटन मैच में तूने बड़ा beautiful shot. Your relationships will go beyond business, but now you'll become teenagers. So मिलके योगा कैंप्स करो, मिलके ऐसे games खेलो. You will become girls. You want to become girls? You want to become girls? Yeah. You want to be? Of course you are. Oh no. Do you want to stay as girls? Now it's yes. So let's stay as girls and resolve. We will have a sports day. कोई ना कोई स्टेडियम में अपनी गेम खेलेंगे. कोई कहेगा बैडमिंटन खेलेंगे, कोई कहेगा टेनिस खेलेंगे, कोई कहेगा कुछ और खेलेंगे. जो खेलना खेलो, खेलना जरूर है. It will have a great impact on your children because children will also play. मेरी मम्मी खेलती है, and your husbands will be very proud. Oh, she plays a game I don't know. Yeah, this is something unique. It gives you stamina, it gives you fitness, it gives you a glow on your face. It'll be fantastic. Don't miss it. So, one more idea. Okay, now comes the inner engineering we talked about. But I brought in my other two thinking, ये भी एक habit है. See, जैसे sports की habit मेरे में पड़ी रही और वो अभी तक है. Similarly, fitness is and inner engineering is also a habit. Okay, so here is, you see that hole, this is, yeah. See, if this is this thing? No. Okay, doesn't matter. See, you see the years? 1993, I took meditation to prisoners. 1999, I took meditation to police training. And I continue. See this? Good habits stay with you. So you girls, you ladies, girls, habits with you. Now I'm going to say, hello girls. So point is, if you have these habits, they'll stay with you and they'll impact your family as well. And children would be most impressed. Mummy ab bada ye karti hai. To bolne do na. To tu bhi kar lena. So let your boys tease you and girls tease you. But it will beautifully impact them. So go ahead, enjoy. It will whole be a new conversation over your lunches and dinners. So this is another habit.
On the sunrise this morning.
Being a part of trail nature. Nature is also very important habit.
Butterfly. The sunrise this morning. Oh my God. Look at this little butterfly along with it.
I used to photograph these.
Wow. Every day is a new day at Rajnivas.
At Rajnivas.
So beautiful. Thank you, God. Thank you.
Nature loving. Do you do nature walks? Good. All of you? You're marked absent or present. But all of you, see, I'm taking you back to outdoor. So from entrepreneurship to outdoor. Playing, walking, marathoning, and then walking the treks and going for nature trails. It's very good. But just you as friends, holding hand, going hand in hand, would be a whole new way of working together as FLO. This is what men should do. I do not know whether they do. But we must do and lead the way. Okay, let's go. And then you have all of us are today photographers, aren't we? So, jo acha laga, photo khicho, put it up on your Facebook, Instagrams, Twitter handles, and share it. So, a lot of joy in that. I do that. This is a very vital thing which I did as a Lieutenant Governor, which worked magic for me. When you're at a large workplace, find a way where you meet your HODs or in person. Depends on your workplace situation. I did that because Rajnivas was all residential and workplace. I could meet my team at the same place. So I had a 10 a.m. forum. Every day at 10 a.m., my key people were meeting me and we were setting the policy for the day. And it was an audit of yesterday and it was very good. Then from morning meeting to now opening up the system. Now you are in entrepreneurship. When you open up your office to workmen or your customers, it's a free time for the MD. It's a free time for the chairperson. It's a free time for the director. मुझे इस time पर इस कोई भी मिल सकता है. कोई client मिल सकता है, कोई customer मिल सकता है. Appointment तो है. Sometimes by appointment and sometimes by a free hour. Keep a free hour for anybody to meet you. And I think it will work as magic. You might generate few interesting ideas because ideas are coming from others. You, after a while, exhaust your ideas. You now need to listen to others. Let it come. So don't be afraid कि कौन कैसा आ जाएगा. Don't be afraid. Try risk. Try take this risk. This is the way as an LG I opened up, and you see even this habit goes back to 1999. What I did as a Lieutenant Governor, I done as a secretary to the Lieutenant Governor in Delhi when I was there, to Mr. Tajinder Khanna. So what I did as a secretary, I now did it as a Lieutenant Governor. Because opening up of the Raj Niwas was game changing. It gave common, it empowered. You see, remember my team mantra? Trust, empowerment and alignment or accountability. It raises accountability and it also empowers the कॉमन मैन को कभी भी आकर उस टाइम पर 4 से 5 या 4 से 7 मिल सकता है, अपनी बात सुना सकता है, एंड इट टेल्स मी एंड आई नो व्हाट ऑल टू डू. सो दिस इज ऑल्सो अ हैबिट टू बी इनकल्केटेड. First few days of functioning here, the open house meant that Raj Niwas is open from Mondays to Wednesdays, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. religiously, for anyone to raise a grievance on a first come first served basis. Each grievance received in open house, as well as from social media, emails, or even WhatsApp, is meticulously recorded and tracked for redressal. We have received so far a total of 31,000 petitions. This was leadership in action. Grievance redressal truly from the heart. Then came the weekend rounds. You can also choose a weekend round. You know, they're a style. These are all about innovative ideas. I'm only generating ideas for you. You can pick and choose, and when you do it, you will be different. You will grow multiply. You will show a new style of leadership. And people will start recognizing कि कमाल है, हमको women leadership ज़्यादा चाहिए, because you're better for your employees and others. See, go outdoor. You see, I'm taking all outdoor right now. ये कर रही ना पिछले पौने घंटे से बाहर से दफ्तर से बाहर निकलो. So when दफ्तर से बाहर निकलो, आप पब्लिक से भी बॉन्डिंग करते हैं, स्टाफ के साथ भी बॉन्डिंग करते हैं, लोगों से भी मिलते हैं, और बस सिंपल ड्रेस पहन के जाओ, वॉकिंग शू पहनो ताकि थको नहीं. गर्मी है तो छतरी लेके जाओ ज़रूर, लेकिन अगर सर्दी है तो मौज है. It's lovely. So point is, look at the season and plan your time accordingly. But being mobile, I'm asking women to become more mobile, more visible, more interactive. Right? That's what I'm trying to do. This is what we did. More and more mobile, visible. Doing town hall meetings. You can do, if you have lots of employees, do town halls with them. If you've got small, do a group meeting with them. So time to time, different employees, different sections, with people, all together. When you bike, you don't celebrate the days. We used to celebrate every day. Koi environment day to celebrate the day. A bicycle day to celebrate the day. Senior citizens celebrate the day. Girl, child, celebrate the day. Women's Day, we all celebrate. So we could choose and make a calendar of your companies, of your entrepreneurship, and celebrate the day. And when you contribute to the environment, you contribute to the environment of the world, humanity. This is a part of the Environment Day, where how do you contribute as women entrepreneurs? This is another very important practice for you as entrepreneur, is one-on-one. आप ग्रुप मीटिंग अभी तक मैंने बोला, कभी अकेले अकेले भी मिलो, कोई उस वर्क वन से, लेडी से बुला के उसको चाय पिलाओ, बोलो तुम कैसे हो, घर के बारे में बताओ, बच्चे क्या करते हैं, वाइफ क्या करती है, वो कुछ नहीं करती, उसकी डबल इनकम कर सकते हो. आपको पता चल गया, मैं इसको अगर अप स्किल करूंगी तो मैं इसको एम्प्लॉय कर सकती हूँ. सो इन अ वे योर फैमिलीज may have sitting resources which you could hire. That's what I do in my NGO. मेरा कोई NGO में मेरी कोई फैमिली का मेंबर अनएम्प्लॉयड नहीं है. उनको पूछते कहाँ कौन है, किधर क्या कर सकते हैं. पुलिस में कांस्टेबल से मैं पूछती थी तुम्हारी वाइफ क्या करती है, अच्छा कुछ नहीं करती, तो टाइम है उसके पास, हाँ मैडम, तो वहाँ चलो वोकेशनल स्किल में वहाँ सिखाओ उसको, सीख के अपना घर से काम जाओ, मशीन चाहिए मैं तुम्हें लोन देती हूँ, जो काम करो। तो क्या हुआ, सिपाही की मैंने उसकी इनकम डबल कर दी, जिसमें वो दूसरे रास्ते में नहीं जाएगा, प्रोवाइड कर सके। आई एम गिविंग ओनली स्मॉल हेडिंग। सिमिलरली अ सीनियर ऑफिसर कम्स इन, आई आस्क हिम, मैम माय चाइल्ड has an issue of special ability. I said, which area? This area. Can we do something? So what happens? You have won him. You are humanized. You've established a human contract. Look, this is what a woman is. अगर हम नहीं करेंगे, तो मैं ये नहीं कहती आदमी नहीं करेंगे, मैं ये कहती हूँ अगर हम नहीं करेंगे तो ज्यादा लोग नहीं करेंगे. This is where you and I are different, and this is where I was different, where I start to be looked up as a mother. In fact, they start to say she's our mother. Hell to LG, मेरी effectiveness कोई नहीं गई, but I start to get being called as a mother or a sister or a family member, and they all listen to me much more. I was only one call away from any one of them. It broke hierarchies, right?
One meetings every weekday at 9 o'clock.
Can we have the sound?
I personally conducted one-on-one meetings with secretaries and department heads. This has been a game changer in improving and standardizing essential administrative practices. Through these meetings, I, as a Lieutenant Governor, helped myself keep abreast with policies, petitions, spending, and training needs of the various departments. More than that, one-on-one meetings have allowed me to mentor officers, and by dispensing with hierarchy, clear channels of communications emerged. This has resulted in much better coordination, more responsive and timely delivery.
Now, habit of recognizing. So mentoring का मैंने आपको दिखा दिया. You can work with your employees. This is what will give you leadership. Look, these are not gender linked. It's not a monopoly of men or women. It's leadership. If you are in the private sector leadership, then these traits are being taught today as soft skills to the corporates in the higher world. And I think you all know it much more than I do, because you are in that world already. But you see, that habit of recognition, I practiced it in 1996 in Delhi Police, and I continued to do it 2016. So jo habits padti hain achhi, keep up those habits.
Governor's office.
That's now self-training.
Self-evaluation and training. Team Raj Nivas initiated a system of self-evaluation and learning for Puducherry officials. Self-evaluation begins with a group breakfast before a subject-based questionnaire, followed by SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. The results are also given immediately by...
So I wanted to share with this is upskilling, which a lot of corporates are spending a lot of investments, corporate funding on training. You can do this in-house also. You can do out-house also. But constant upskilling for yourself, enrolling for courses yourself, and then also enrolling courses for your juniors and employees is very, this will raise your productivity all the time, and it will help you change and evolve as a company. As an entrepreneur, you will minimize the risk and you'll continue to increase productivity. Now I wanted to share with you this habit of documentation. Dekho, my book is a product of this documentation. I had a personal library. Many houses have corners of refreshments or entertainment, etc. We all have small corners, but always have a library at home. Always have a library. It's very impactful for the family. And get into the habit of regular reading. If I had not kept this kind of documentation, this book would not have come. Where did this habit come from? In 1966, my daddy used to keep my news clippings when I used to return from tennis playing around the country. And I was living in Amritsar. So इतनी दूर से जो अमृतसर के पेपर ने लिखा होता था, my father used to maintain news clippings. So what reported on sports page, he would share and tell me. And he kept those news clippings. I inherited them. and I maintained a habit of news clippings. So you maintain your own documentation of photographs, of whatever news clippings, your policies. Documentation is important, so is library. It's a library of what you love. Books, magazines, spiritual books, etc. Maintain a library and so that you can refer it back whenever you feel like.
The most important communication strategy as a good practice Team Rajnivas adopted was a WhatsApp group called Prosperous Puducherry. Team Rajnivas was quick to grasp the potential.
Are you WhatsApp group? All of you? All of you? And you're one group? Are you all one group? That's what it is. How many members, Shubhraa? Huh? You can make 4 groups. Group 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 broadcast messages inform your all 1,000 employees. So make 4 groups, and then 5th group, group 1, 2, and make it all broadcast. So today is whatever you're doing, and everybody's enrolled is a part of the WhatsApp group. So there can be a situation where as administrators, if you want to reduce traffic, you can have it to begin with one-sided message. To begin with, right? Otherwise, everybody can connect with each other. They get their phone numbers and they also get a directory. So begin with, because otherwise, or you have a little social media secretariat to handle all, to make it two-way. And you can even connect, you can interconnect much more. You can greet each other a happy birthday. You can have an anniversary celebration. You can have a sports announcement. You can have an event announcement in just 4 minutes by 4 messages of broadcast. So try and look at this and become members of WhatsApp. Anything urgent? Anything? Okay. Okay. So this is a very important management tool which I used. Listen to this. Carry on.
Most innovative and creative feature of Rajnivas. This creative team is a core group which handles the timely dissemination of information of relevance across various communication platforms, social media, print media, television, publications, and our own dynamic website. This creative team produces short films and maintains an extensive archive of photographs, videos, and documents, which are a valuable record for the office of the Lieutenant Governor. The creative team also ensures Rajnivas has a pervasive presence across various social media platforms such as the Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and the WhatsApp.
Then joy at work. That's, I think, finally 1 or 2 slides more.
Continue to celebrate. Enjoys
as you do,
hard,
but always celebrate at your workplaces. This is the way we did at the Rajnivas.
Joy. With more than 14,000 citizens we did in the last 1,000 days. Officers and workers from all sections of Puducherry's community.
The lawns of the Rajnivas became celebratory. These were sanitary workers.
Message: Joyous Puducherry, prosperous Puducherry.
This is the leadership style we are talking about. See the 2 leadership styles? What is your leadership style? Are you at the center of everything, or are you the top of everything and everybody is below? Which is your style? Look at your style. When everything's around you and you're right at the center and you're equidistant for all. Look at your style. Are you right at the top, hierarchical style? Or are you at the creative model of leadership? That's your style. So if somebody asks you what's your style, what makes it creative? Because you're right in the center and you're equidistant for all. That was the work, what worked in Rajnivas. So what is the sum up for all of you is be accessible, recognizable, don't get pressured, find solutions, be ready to move, remain mobile. These are 5 things I take away. Lots for public officials. Imagine if every public official becomes accessible equally, visible equally, on the move equally, ready to move equally, you will have no garbage on the streets. because municipal commissioners will be walking the streets. Rural areas would not be dirty because collectors will be walking the streets. Streets will be safer, traffic would be better if SPs of the traffic would be maybe cycling on the streets. What's the problem? Visibility on the street, accessibility on the streets. So whoever is interested with public service can be more. This is the book Shubhraa has been talking to you about. All this is now captured in the book. These leadership qualities, when you read it, you will get them in stories. Small stories, how we did it. This is the way how they released the book on January the 22nd. My last message for you is, once you become fearless, because that's the book, Fearless Governance. And I did work fearlessly. Now, where was the fearless aspect? When I took on the political establishment in the book. There are 3 chapters exclusively on political establishment, which you will get to read when you open the book. But once you become fearless, for me, life as Lieutenant Governor became limitless. And I thoroughly enjoyed the unlimited functioning and performance we could do. That to me is presentation for you. Thank you very much. Shubhraa?